And there's the Jew hatred. There it is, just old, ancient anti-Semitism. Oh, he's a Jew? Let's yell at him for 2 hours and not let him speak. See, it's all right there. So modern, so progressive, so ancient. Very first thing that jumped out of the text to me is that I noticed that to these men, Jesus was very, very bad for business. Jesus was bad for corrupt business. Namely, you look today, Hollywood prophets hate Jesus. Jesus is bad for Hollywood prophets. That's why they've left him out of every movie for decades. Even if it's like dealing with demonic, there's no mention of Jesus. Maybe a bright light somewhere in there, but really it's all focused on the supernatural and no Jesus ever. This occurred to me when I'm watching cartoon movies with my kids, and I was watching an old school one. I think it was like Rescuers Down Under, and the little girl kneels by her bed and prays. And this is like Deep Tracks, old kid movie. It's like the 1970s or something crazy. And it occurred to me of like, when was the last time you saw anyone pray in a kid's movie? Never's happened. It hadn't happened in half a century are they doing that. Why? Why? Hollywood hates Jesus. It's bad. Jesus is bad for Hollywood prophets. He's bad for media ratings. He's bad for woke universities. He's bad for woke businesses. And so here we have in the text, Demetrius recognizing that Jesus is bad for business. Governments also recognize that Jesus is bad for being able to coalesce power and to be able to have more of it. They want to be the top power. And a people who are committed to Jesus recognize an authority greater than that government. Then they recognize, the Christians won't be bullied into obeying tyrannical or erroneous laws. Instead, they're going to stand up, say, you're wrong, government, and you are under a higher authority. And guess how much government's like that? Big fat goose egg, that's right. They don't like that at all. And so Jesus is in competition with the kings of this earth who want to abscond his throne and grow in power. That's what they want. And so it is no surprise that the institutions of power hate Jesus. Here's a note for you on that. Given that the institutions of power hate Jesus, you can't win them over by self-silencing and just being the nice guy, the sweetie pie, status quo. You think that if you just came off things and you were a little bit more reasonable, these institutions of power would meet you in the middle with a parlay and be like, all right, agree to disagree. You have yours, we have it. That's not how it works. The only way there'll be any alliance between the institutions of power of the world that hate Jesus and you is if you compromise on your beliefs. And since we cannot compromise, there can be no agreement. And so, stand firm. Don't be a spineless jellyfish bowing to the woke institutions of power that despise Christianity and will always hate you as long as you're with him. All you can do to gain ground in that front is to compromise your own beliefs. It's to abandon Jesus and join the world. You got it? Stand firm, believers.